So gentlemen, we are here for a very, very special episode of Talking Watches. This is a little bit different than our usual format. First of all, we have two guests, Patrick, Geoffroy. We have more than just a few watches. We have 54 watches out of how many?
600 something.
600 something. And on the table, we have 54 Patek Philippe's, all of which belong to you, Patrick. And Geoffroy, you've kind of served as a curator and expert for this collection for the last 20 years or so?
Yeah, exactly.
And so what we have here today is a selection of the Oak Collection, which some of you may have heard about. It stands for the One-of-a-Kind Collection. So Patrick, please tell us a little bit about how you got started with watches and what we have here.
Well, I was in Switzerland in a boarding school, and I fell in love with the Omega watch. So I was 10 years, 11 years. I went 50 times in front of the shop, and one day I spared money and I went to buy it.
What watch was it?
I don't remember because it is 57 years ago.
And so how did you go from the little boy in boarding school looking at an Omega to amassing a collection like this?
Time and money.
That's all it takes. Yeah.
It's easy.
This is a very Patek-centric collection. There are other marks and manufacturers in the collection, but mostly Patek. What is it about Patek that really drives your enthusiasm so much?
Patek is something really special. First, it is the brand who has a lot of different watch. You go to some manufacturers, they don't have so much, and also they are doing complicated watch. And most of the manufacturer doesn't do that. So you have a simple watch like a Calatrava, to a rattrapant, and of course, it's difficult to explain. I love those, how they look.
And I think what's compelling about what's here on the table is such a wide range of Pateks. Why don't we start with a pocket watch up there? What is that?
I don't know. Graves?
This is a Graves tourbillon. Definitely one of the highlight, if not the highlight, of this collection. This is a watch that was ordered by Henry Graves in 1932. It has a tourbillon, as you can see here. This is the most exquisite device of precision you can find on a watch. It is interesting, though, to see that it is the year of the anniversary of the tourbillon, which was created by Breguet 200 years ago. And 1932 is the year of the starting point with Calatrava.
Even before we get to the Calatrava, so you have quite a few watches that belong to Henry Graves.
Yes, I have to say I'm the biggest collector of Henry Graves after the Patek Museum.
Okay, fair enough. And as Geoffroy mentioned, so 1932 is actually the first year of the Calatrava, which is a mainstay in this collection. So what are some of the examples we have here?
The number one is this one. It's steel, it's Breguet dial, and as you see, it's completely new.
Yeah. So Breguet dial, black dial.
It's a black dial.
Yeah.
With applied Breguet numerals. And you see the quality of the dial, which is immaculate, the condition of the case. If you look, for instance, here on the lugs, this is really important on a Patek. You see the lugs here are perfect. It's always something that counts for Patek. It's always perfection. Dial, case, and movement. And 1932 is an interesting year because it is the transition when they moved towards the first reference in the Calatrava model. And obviously here you have the best selection one could ever dream of Calatravas.
Here on 12 there is 10 one-of-a-kind watch.
10 one-of-a-kind.
On 12, there is 12, only 10 are one-of-a-kind.
No kidding. And which ones are they?
This one is one of a kind. This is a very rare reference. This is a reference 1504. One of a kind with black dial and applied pink gold Breguet numerals. Then we have two examples of reference 570 in yellow gold with Breguet numerals. This is again one of a kind. The sister in pink gold. And here, because he loves these two watches, these two are one of a kind based on the examples of the vintage one, made especially for the customer.
And so how does something like that happen exactly?
Well, I wanted to have a special Calatrava. And one day, Mr. Stern says, oh, well, you bought the two best gold, yellow, and pink. I will make to you the new one the same.
And they're really matching.
And they match, and they match. And I am very thankful to him and to Patrick Kremers to give me this huge gift.
So we have some 570s, 530, and this is a very special 570 over here.
Yes.
What is this?
This is a very interesting example of the 570. There are only two known examples. This one is in pink gold, but it has an anti-magnetic caliber, the 27 AM 400. And I think this is, again, the essence of Patek. Everything is inside, nothing is outside. It's a plain watch from the outside, but from the inside, only two are known with this kind of caliber.
And if I wanted to show this one,
Sure.
it's 2511, one of a kind. You see?
Beautiful.
New old stock, as new as it is. It's fantastic. Everybody knows the 570, 530, 5196. This is less known, the 2511. And so that's why I love it for two reasons.
Yeah. And then I see quite a few 1579s up there, including two in white metal.
Okay.
So here you have the whole range of 1579. It's a typical chronograph with shaped lugs. So we start with the yellow gold version, the pink gold version, the steel version, and then we have the platinum. And then we have some other examples, either with a reeded bezel or with the pink dial, what we call the pink on pink.
I love them so much. And I'm very fortunate. And if you see just this one, was never were. It's new 100%. It's not new old stock, it's new.
And so we had a 530 Calatrava, but we also have a 530 Chronograph.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exceptional because it's also a one of a kind and it's new. It's fantastic. So this is one of the very important watch of my collection.
What is interesting on this one as well is the double signature. Not only Patek was selling watches at the time with their own signature, they had some retailers who were able to put their names, and one of them, which is Gobi Milano, which is quite famous in the world of vintage watch collectors, is here stamped. And the quality of the case, the dial, is close to perfection.
Yeah, and this is a pink gold example?
Yeah, it's a pink gold example.
I think after is good to go to the 1518.
Sure.
Because 1579,
Yeah.
1518. I'm sorry, but this is with Gay Frères, pink, one of a kind.
The bracelet's amazing.
Amazing. And the watch is fantastic. That is the, really, I love it. And that's the good thing about the 1518. All my watch work.
Everyone.
Everyone, when it's troubled because they are old, everything is good, but 3 months or 4 months later, he has a problem.
Right.
Or Gabriel Tortola,
Yeah.
fix it, or we send to Patek.
Right, and for those of you at home, you actually can't see, but Gabrielle's sitting right over there, a young watchmaker who makes sure that all these watches are actually working. So I can attest they do all work.
Yeah.
And Geoffroy, we have the full family of medals in 1579s, but we also have the full family of series of 2499s.
Yeah, we have, well, actually the entire history of 2499, starting with the first generation, which is in fact easily recognizable with the square pushers. This one is one of a kind because it has a champagne dial. The second generation here, which is easily recognizable with the tachymeter scale you have on the outer side. Another example in pink gold, 2499 third series. This one is really interesting because it has specificity on the register with the moon phase. It is not engraved on the outer ring, so it's a special dial, again, one of a kind. And this last one is a 2499/100. It is the last one ever produced at Patek, and then it was over.
So this is the last 2499.
This is the last 2499 ever produced. So this is the entire family, ranging almost 30 years of history, and definitely took a long time, Patrick, to assemble all these watches. This is really important. I mean, it takes a long journey to get these watches. And
difficult. You have to earn them, you know, you have to fight.
And so moving on from the 2499s, we move into another kind of landmark Patek reference, which is this world time, double crown world time.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
This is because you see, okay, it's yellow gold, but you see immaculate. And
With blue enamel.
that's fantastic. This is one of my favorite watch. I am impressed myself when I see them, how old they are, how good they are,
Yeah.
the way they are looking, you know. And you have the other one, 25, 23 by 1. Also, you see,
And all of these are functioning, even the world timers.
everything is working.
So now that the collection is public, does this mark the end of your watch collecting, or is
Not
it?
at all.
No.
No. I bought last week some watch. I'm still buying. I don't stop. And the auction are coming in November. And we will have a look on what could be interesting for us. And then, yeah, we will probably buy if God is nice to us.